Tricksters, pranksters, and hooligans alike, I come to you once more for a Barony class guide. The 10th one of this series, in fact. This video will cover the ins and outs of how to effectively play the Joker class. I've been especially looking forward to this video because way back when, in the ancient times of 2024, I uploaded my original guide for the Joker class. I've looked back at this video and I feel it is woefully underdone. It's only 3 minutes long and the info I gave was somewhat vague and generalized, so this is my chance at redemption. The starting inventory for the Joker is a very, very odd one. Most would look at this and immediately think, abysmal dog shit. You're almost right, but looks can be deceiving. Starting armor is almost entirely non-existent. You get a Blessed Jester's hat, which gives 2 charisma and 1 AC, and a blindfold. I'll get into what the blindfold does in the next section of the video. The only weapon you start with is a slingshot. Abysmal dog shit. The rest of the items are just all over the place. 3 scrolls of teleport, as well as an unidentified scroll of food, a lockpick, a potion polymorph, a spellbook of confuse, 8 cream pies, a ring of levitation, and an unidentified luck stone. In case you didn't know, luck stones have negative weight, so they actually make you lighter when you hold them. The starting skills are similarly not very appealing at first glance. 20 leadership, 25 trading, 25 tinkering, 10 alchemy, 25 magic, 25 casting, 10 stealth, and 20 ranged. Looking at these skills all put together, it paints a very odd picture for a class. This is literally just the phrase jack of all trades, master of none in the form of a class. As soon as you enter the dungeon, you're gonna need to go into gamer mode because you don't got shit to work with. The slingshot is good for rats and maybe spiders, but it's not going to do a damn thing against skeletons. So for them, you're going to need to equip your levitate ring, find a pit, guide them to it, and hit them while floating just out of their reach. This process can be expedited with a mace, as skeletons are very weak against those. Because your starting kit is minimal, to say the least, you're going to need to work with whatever items you happen upon. That's kind of the Joker's prerogative, just use whatever you find. Until you find some decent items, you can use that Confuse spell to pacify enemies and simply walk around them, or if you get in a hairy situation, pop a teleport scroll and hope for the best. The wild card method of play is even more evident when you take into account that all of your stats have an equal percentage chance to go up whenever you level up. For comparison, the warrior has a way higher chance for its strength, constitution, and charisma to level up, while its dexterity, perception, and intelligence have a much lower chance of going up. The Joker could get literally fucking anything on level up, so you may be attempting to become a mage, but due to RNG, you don't get a single point of intelligence for the entire game. This is a very exaggerated example, but it could happen. It's all at the will of the numbers. So, that brings us to how the Joker operates in single player and multiplayer. In single player, you'll be getting every single loot item that drops from everything ever, so you can become whatever you wish. For example, in the run I recorded for this video, I bought a tinkering kit in Minetown and started scrapping everything I didn't use. I then turned that scrap primarily into flame traps to act as a secondary damage source, and my main damage source was ranged with the help of good old Lakatos. In a multiplayer setting, you'll be viewed as a fetid troll, scum that is not worthy of remaining in the polycule. Some may even view it as a form of griefing, due to the absurd nature of the class. In response, you will throw a cream pie in their face, blinding them for a few seconds, and continue on your way to fill whatever niche the party does not currently have a representative of. If your party has a warrior, wizard, and healer, congratulations, you are now the rogue substitute. Grab a bow and start shooting. Now, going back to when I mentioned that blindfold, yes, I should talk about that. So when you wear the blindfold, it blinds you. However, if you read an unidentified spellbook, it will identify it, and if it happened to be cursed, nothing will happen. This ensures that you can safely identify any spellbook and use them right away if they aren't cursed. Wonderful. For recommended weapons, it is, as I've implied throughout this section of the video, anything that presents itself to you. Any artifact weapon will work well, particularly Lakatos, because you do start with 20 ranged. Getting that magic though is a very risky process, so be prepared for an asshole punching fight with Artemisia. If you want a melee artifact, Gungnir is always available if you are brave enough or patient enough to fight the Minotaur, and Shuror and Lakatos can always be bought with the blue and green orbs respectively. If you're looking for a non-artifact option, magic staffs are great for free magic damage, and any of the many ranged weapons will be very effective. Recommended armor is even more general. For one, the Potato King has a jester hat that is leagues better than yours, so if he spawns, politely remove it from his green head. That's only really useful if you're focusing on leadership or trading, in which case a gold mask is helpful, but depending on what style of gameplay you end up doing, you'll need different items. If you focus on magic, then a circlet, pipe, and/or magus' headdress is what you'll want. If you do melee, then you'll need heavy armor and probably a visor. If you do ranged, then it's gonna be a bicocket or stag hood. In all scenarios, the Jinni's Brace and Oracle's Treads are highly advisable, as both of the levels they are found in are exceedingly easy. In fact, the Joker benefits extremely from the Haunted Mansion, as the Levitate ring that you start with makes it possible to simply hover out of the ghoul's range and reliably kill every single one of them. Otherwise, you could get the Wraith's Gown and swap your Levy ring with a Strength or Constitution ring. I'm going to omit the miscellaneous item recommendations segment for the Joker, as that would entail listing every single item in the game. On the matter of race synergies, the Joker pairs well with every single race in the game, with a few being slightly better than others. I believe Vampire is a little redundant, seeing as you start with an item that grants Levitate, so the spell becomes redundant, and Bloodletting on its own is not enough to justify only being able to eat blood. Succubus and Incubus can work very well since they let you use cursed items, but more specifically, any spellbook you find, so they make magic gameplay a little bit easier. Succubus specifically is good for a leadership-centered playthrough because Succubi can recruit any humans, goblins, or goatmen if they are confused, and hey, what do you know, you start with that very spellbook. Insectoid gives you its usual benefits, you know, your energy meter being a visual indicator of your hunger, 3 innate spells, the works. Goatman would be good for if you want an alchemy-centered playthrough, because you have a chance of getting multiple potions from a fountain if you're a Goatman, and you get free action as well as improved strength whenever you're drunk. Automaton is a neutral pairing, I kinda just think of it as an alternate human, but the two funniest race choices for the Joker are Goblin and Skeleton. Goblin works well because all of your items get double durability, and all of your melee weapon skills go up at the same time, so you can use literally any weapon you find. They'll all have the same efficacy, not taking weaknesses and resistances into account, of course. Skeleton works here because funny skeleton, but you won't need to eat, so all food can go to your allies, and once you reach 75 mana, if you get a little too comical and die, you'll be brought back to life. Otherwise, it's kinda just an extra challenge on top of the Joker's usual difficulty. In short,
cream pie your friends.
Realize that gnomes are not to be trifled with, and defeat the Baron with the best medicine, laughter.
Love.
And that's it for the Joker Guide. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and have a good one.